Sairam students, welcome back to your environmental studies online session. Today, what we are going to study? We are going to study our continued chapter which was our chapter number 10, transport. Chapter number 10, transport. So, in the previous video, what we had read about the different means of transport. Today, we will study this in brief. Transport. So, what are transports? See here, we generally walk for shorter distance and take any transport for longer distance. In olden days, block carts, horse-driven carts, and boats were only means of transport for commuting from one place to another. These means are still used in villages to travel and transport things. Animals like donkeys, bulls, mules, camels, and asses are used to carry loads for longer distances. So here what it is written that what are transport, what is the meaning of transport. So generally today, even today, we generally what we do, we walk for the shorter distances. If we want to go in our nearby places, so we can do walk. What we do, we take any transport for the longer distance. Either we take cycle or scooter, car, bus, train, auto rickshaw. These are the different kind of transport which we travel, like or ships, boats. Okay, now today's world, what we mostly use scooties or scooters. We prefer cars for the longer distance. But in the olden days, people used to travel through the block carts, which was carried by the bulls or oxen, or horse-driven carts, which was driven by the horses, and boats. If they want to go in an area from where there is a river, they travel through the boats. So these were the only means of transport in the olden days for commuting from one place to another. That means for traveling one place to another. These means are still used in villages to travel and transport things. Still in nowadays, these means are still used in villages. But in cities or towns, we use different means like scooters, scooties, auto rickshaw, buses, trains. These kind of means of traveling we use in towns and cities. But in in villages, still we use block carts, horses, and boats. Animals and asses. See here, this is a block cart. This is a block cart. In this, there is a cart behind the oxens who pull the cart and the people sit in the cart. Okay, so this is the block cart. Now see the next. There are various means of transport available. So the various means of transport available are land transport, air transport, and water transport. So in transport, there are two means of traveling, two different modes of traveling. First is road transport and second is rail transport. Let us study about this in brief. See, road transport. Roads connect different villages, towns, and cities. As you know, if you want to go from one city to the another, we go through the road. Okay, if there is no any hurdle, then we go through the roads. So roads connect different villages, towns and cities. The most common road vehicle includes buses, trucks, motorcycles, scooters, rickshaw, car, vans and bicycle. So these are the different kind of vehicles we use to travel on the road. When we go to the when we go to any village, town or the cities through the road, we use these different kind of vehicles, which are trucks, motorcycles, scooters, buses, rickshaws, cars, vans and bicycles. These are the different kinds of road transports. Now see, this is a bicycle. Or we can use auto rickshaw if we want to go through to our nearby market or to our relative house in our city. So we try to prefer use auto rickshaws, or we can travel through the cars also if we want to go to the longer distances from one city to another or from one city to another town or village. We use cars also. Now see the next. Next is the rail transport. Next is the rail transport. As you know, what is the rail transport? All knows? Yes, it is trains. Rail transports includes all transport over rails or trucks. That means all the rail transports are based or can use rails or trucks. This includes trains, both passenger as well the goods trains. What are the passenger and the goods trains? Passenger trains are those in which the people can sit and go from one city or one country to another. And good trains are those in which good trains are those in which the which we send goods in which we send goods from one place to another. That means if we want to send goods from to anyone, or when we post something, so post also go through the trains. So these are the goods trains, to which we call malgadi. So these are the good trains. Or metros, trams. Trams are those which runs on the road through the tracks. Okay, so rail transport carries more peoples or goods compared to the road transport. So also lot many goods can be sent in the through the rail transports. Okay, so rail transport is also a good, or we can say best means of transport to send or to carry peoples or the goods compared to road transports. Okay, see here there is a rail, train, you can say rail or train. Now see the next is our air transport. Air transport next is our air transport. So let's see air transport. Air transport includes all transport through the air, such as airplanes, helicopters. It is the fastest means of transport and connects all the major cities. Air transport is expensive. It is possible to reach other country in few hours or a day through air transport. So what it is written here written is air transport. Air transport includes all the transports through the air, such as airplanes and helicopters. When we travel through the airplanes, helicopters, we that means we travel through the air transports. Okay, you know what is airplanes and helicopters? Yes, in airplanes so many people can sit at one time to go to the farther distance. That means over the so many cities, or we can say so many countries. If we want to go to one country to the another, or one city to the another which is very far away from our city, so we travel through the air transport. And if we want to go to the another city, go through the airplanes go through the clouds, it travels in very topmost layer of the sky, but helicopters travel in the lowermost layer of the sky. So it is not at the top of the sky. And also helicopters contains only 2 or 3 or 4 people. It doesn't have the capacity of more than 3 or 4 people. But all the air transports are the fastest means of transport. These are the fastest means of transport. That means if you travel through the train, you can reach, if in some country you can reach, or in some city you can reach within 1 or 2 days. Through air transport you can reach only in 3, 4 or 5 hours. So it is the best and the fastest means of transport to connect all the major cities or countries. Air transport is expensive, but it is also expensive. It is also expensive. It is possible to reach other country in the few hours or a day through the air transport. It is really possible to to reach to the another country or cities within a few hours, or you can say within few days. But still it is fastest from any means of transport. Air transport is the fastest means of transport. In air transport, one more thing comes, which is air balloon. Air balloon is also used for reaching one place to another. And also rockets. As you know about the rockets, yes, who invented the rockets? APJ Abdul Kalam. So Sir APJ our country. He was also the president of our country, and he was also known as the missile man. So he invented the missile, or we can say rocket. Rockets are used to rockets are used for the space researches. We send the rockets to the space for the researches. Our scientists send the rockets to the space for the different kind of researches. So it is also one of the fastest means of air transport. So we can use rockets also as a air transport. Now see the next. And next is water transports. Next is our water transport. Hope you are all aware with the water transports. Water transport includes boat, ship, steamer, yacht, or submarines. These are all the different kinds of water transports. You all know about the boats. There are the small boats which carry some peoples and commutate from one place to another. And next is ship. Ship, you all know, there is a huge ships in the sea which travels in the sea, in which people can stay also, take rooms also, enjoy the trips, or to go from one place to another. They use ship. Steamers also use for traveling. Yacht and submarines. These are also used for traveling. Submarines runs under the water, and also people use submarine. Not people, we can say and safety. So these are the different kinds of water transports. Steamers and boats sail along with the big rivers. Steamers and boats are used in the big rivers. And ships sails in the oceans and seas. As you know, ship sails in the seas and oceans, carrying passengers and the goods from one place to another. Water transport is slow as compared to the road, rail, or air transport. So water transport is the slowest means of transport. Water transport is the slowest means of transport. Or but it also sends people from one place to take passengers to one place to another, and it also carries vehicles from one place to another. So it is also the one of the means of transport. See, this is a yacht, or we can say ship, which is in the ocean or sea. And this is a submarine. It travels under the water. It travels under the water. So now one more time, just take a quick fix revision of this chapter. Chapter number 10, transports. We generally walk for the short distance. Now you know what are transports. When we want to travel from one place to another in a longer distance, we use the transport. There are the different kind of transport like block carts, horse driving carts and boats. There are so many different types of transports. And also cars, scooters, buses, trains. These are all the different kinds of transport we use to travel, or we can say commutate from one place to another. Okay. Transport also further divided into two types: rail transport and road transport. In road transport, roads connected from different villages, towns and cities, and when we want to go to these different cities, towns and villages, we use the road transport. And there are different vehicles used on the road transport, which are buses, trucks, motorcycles, scooter, rickshaw, cars, vans and bicycles. Okay, so these are the different kinds of vehicles used on the roads. And now see rail transport. Rail transport includes all the transport over the rails or the tracks, which are metros, trams, trains. Okay, so these are all the rail transport. It carries the people and the goods. Okay, now see next. This is the rail. Next is the air transport. Air transport includes all transport through the air, such as airplanes, helicopter, and it is the fastest means of the transport which connects all the major cities. Air transport is expensive. It is possible to reach other country in a few hours or a day through the air transports. Next is water transport. Water transport includes boat, ship, submarines, steamers, which sails along big rivers, and ships sails in the oceans and the seas, carrying passengers and the goods from one place to another. Water transport is slow as compared to road, rail or air transport. So these are the different kind of transports. Hope now you are clear with this, which are our transport, which transport used in which place, and how to travel from one city to clearly. So study at your home about the transport and also see in your nearby places which is the most common transports which you use commonly in your day-to-day life. Okay. So see it in your nearby places, like see bicycles, scooters, trains in your nearby places, and try to find out which is the different means of transport it is. Okay. So thank you so much. Stay well, stay safe at your homes.